my channel. If you hear buzzing in the background, it's because the AC just kicked on. So for this video, I wanted to just sort of compile all of the tips and tricks that I've learned in terms of doing makeup, specifically for those of us who have been blessed with hooded eyes. I have tried everything, and these are the things that I have found that work best for me. One thing I do want to say is that cut creases are always a go-to. Cut creases totally work. They're great because you're basically redefining your crease, so you don't really have to worry about the hood so much because you're just remaking the shape of your eye. One thing though is isn't specific to hooded eyes because it has to do with false lashes, so it can be applicable to anyone and everyone who wears false lashes. Let's just jump right on into it. I'm gonna zoom y'all in here. So as you can see, one of my eyes is more hooded than the other. So this one is more hooded than the other, and you can tell that because I have more lid space on this side than I do on this side. So see how the hood comes down and it covers more, versus like I have more open space over here. So that sucks. So I have to deal with that, and you'll see later how I deal with that. I freaking hate it. And also on my lower lid, this I guess like protrudes out more, so it pushes this skin like in, and you know, this one's just chilling. So just wanted to point that out, that my eyes are like that, and it freaking sucks, but there's nothing I can do about it. I have used tape and I hate it, so let's just not even talk about tape. Eyelid tape. So this is what my eyes look like. This is what hooded eyes look like, and you can see when I look down, I got like all this lid space, right? Like I'm like, yeah, and my brow bone or crease is like right there. But then when I open my eyes, it's like, oh, hello. So let me see if I can like push it in. So that's a little better. So if I were to use eyelid tape, you know, it would like reshape it to where it's, you see how it's not as hooded anymore. But then I also have this because there's just all this extra skin, and for whatever reason it's like, oh, you need all the skin. So okay, so yeah, but I mean, obviously it doesn't stay like that, so that sucks. The hood it comes down not that far on the outer corner, so that was a big problem that I saw with a lot of people who claim to have hooded eyes, or who did have hooded eyes, was that their eyes weren't hooded, like barely even at all on the outer corner. I still have like a lot of skin right here, so that sucks. So you'll see how I deal with that. But that was a big thing that I ran into, was that their hood was mostly like on the inner corner or right here, but they had way more space on the outer corner. So we're gonna go over eyeshadow first. I'll just kind of take you through like what I do on a regular basis, or whatever, go-tos. Anyways, so first things first, eyeshadow. Always, always, always use mattes. Mattes are your best friend. The only time you do not want to use mattes is if you're applying eyeshadow, like obviously on the lid and the inner corner, because that'll bring those spaces out more. Like, be like, hey, I'm here. So for example, this tiny bit of lid space that I have right here, that'll, if I put a shimmer or glitter on there, then it'll bring that out more, and it'll be like, hey, even though I'm covered for the most part by a hood, by a wonderful flab of skin, I am still here. So with hooded eyes, you want to take advantage of all this space that you got up here. Even though when you close your eyes, you're like, wow, look at all that I have. That's great, and yeah, you can, you know, cover that with some pop of color, but that fun only happens when you blink or close your eyes. You know, no one's gonna see it when your eyes are open, which sucks. Again, unless you utilize this. We'll talk more about that later, but really the fun that you get to have is all like up here. Outer corner, the outer outer, up and out, basically. Up and out is your best friend, so we're gonna do that. You can look down, you know, like with most YouTubers or beauty people, whatever, you see them look down and they go like that, and they're like, yeah, and you can do that if you want to, because the eyeliner that we'll do later will kind of compensate for that or fix that or whatever. But I highly recommend this. This works for me. I'll just say that this works for me. I do my eyeshadow with my eyes open, and then I'll look down and go like that if I need to. So yeah, let me just show you guys. So I always start, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Okay, I always start applying the color on the outside with my eyes open. I'm looking straight into the mirror. I know it looks like in the camera that I'm looking down, but I promise I'm just looking straight into my mirror. And I'm just gonna, you know, just go for it, make it look nice. But you want to concentrate the pigment in this area, if that makes sense. I really hope that makes sense. Also, I'm one of those people whose makeup looks better in real life than it does on camera, okay? So just keep that in mind. Like, if something looks like it's not blended all the way or whatever, just know that the naked eye is always, it's always better, okay? Okay, so hooded eyes, yes, you want to concentrate the color up here. You can wing it out and bring it out more if you'd like. I like to do that just because it lifts my eyes, and you know, I just like elongated eyes, and I just like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I like, okay. If you want something a little more natural, then I guess you don't have to do that, but I don't wear makeup to look natural, okay? Like, I'm not going for subtle if I'm wearing makeup. I don't think so. I might as well not even wear makeup, but that's just me. You don't have to be like me. I'd rather you not. Never mind, okay. And don't be afraid. I know a lot of people, you hear it a lot where they're like, oh, don't bring the color all the way up. I mean, obviously you don't want to bring it all the way up to the top of your brow bone, like right under your brow. But I think for those of us with hooded eyes, we kind of have to, but it's an art. Like, you don't want to bring it up like too far unless you're going for a certain aesthetic, of course. But like, this is all the space that we got, basically, is our hood. It is like the brow bone. So whatever, do what we gotta do. I'm gonna go do the other eye now. So the darker you go, the closer to this line that you want to be, because that'll just add depth, and that will bring this part of the skin back. It'll push it back because it's darker. Things that are darker recede, things that are lighter protrude. So the way I do it is I start by applying the darkest color out here, and then I will just slowly work my way in. I will, you know, look down, you'll see, but I will look down just to make sure that I bring it in correctly. You'll see what I mean. But even right now, you can tell that this area looks especially hooded. It's kind of, because it's not as dark, so to speak, as right here. It's not as shadowed or dimensioned as it probably should be. So I'll just go ahead and do that real quick. And I highly recommend using a pencil brush. This one is some brush. It's by Sonia Kashuk. You can find it at Target, but this one, you can kind of tell the size. Basically, here's my hand, so you can kind of, you know, get an idea of how big it is. When I go in with black, I use a pencil brush that's actually even smaller than this one, but still kind of fluffy. So yeah, darker eyeshadows, and this is also matte. So I'm just gonna concentrate it on the outer corner first, of course, and blend it a little bit. Don't blend too much at first, because I have to get the color down first so I can get an idea of, you know, what it is I'm doing. And then just gonna work my way in. Now I'm still following the natural, like I can feel like my natural crease is right here. It's just my freaking hood. Okay, so I'm just gonna, so I still do kind of follow my natural crease. It's just when I open my eyes, like I'll go like that, and then when I open it, it's like it gets lost under here, you know, so that's why I have to bring the shadow up more. So that's great. Again, depending on how angled and dramatic you want it to be, you don't have to bring it out like so far, but I like to bring it down just a little bit, just a little something, you know. Okay, it looks blended in real life, so you'll just have to trust me. So you see the difference there? See what I'm talking about? Picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so I'm just gonna do the same thing to the other side real quick. You pretty much always want to tightline, and it's because you, I'm sure you've heard that before. If you've watched to-dye videos before, it's because of like such a small lid space right here. You have to tightline because it adds, you know, a little something, a little line. Because I watched one video and they told me like, they said not to just, I can't do eyeliner at all. And I was like, tell me I can't do eyeliner. I'm gonna do eyeliner. When you highlight your brow bone, you want to keep it as close up, you know, up there as you possibly can. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Honestly, I love highlighting my brow bone. It's great. It's just so satisfying. I love highlighter, you guys. Actually, before I tightline, I'm so sorry. I forgot to talk about the lid space. So, you know, normally, like if you were to just act normally, you know, you would have brought the eyeshadow down, and that's why you cut the crease, is so that you don't have to. Makes sense, right? This is just slightly more natural, and I don't always have time to cut my crease, and sometimes I just don't want, I know there's such a thing as a soft crease, but sometimes I just don't want to do that. Sometimes I just don't have time, okay? So for this part, I would recommend, you know, applying some concealer like right here, just dabbing on, and then just, you know, just so the eyeshadow that you put on there will stick. I'm not gonna do that though because I'm lazy. Okay, well when I'm not lazy, this is what I do. I apply concealer right here and I just spread it all along here because I want the eyeshadow that I do put down right here to really stand out. And the best way to do that is to, you know, have a sticky surface for the eyeshadow to cling to. So I'll do that, and I'll of course, you know, like blend it out. So that's not necessarily a cut crease because I'm not, you know, carving out a new crease. I'm just placing some concealer and kind of just blending it out, you know. But I'm just gonna go ahead and this is where I would also recommend, if you don't have like a super light matte eyeshadow to put on here, this is where you would do the shimmery eyeshadow that you have. I'm just gonna apply, actually, highlighter it is. So I'm going in, I just packed my brush with highlighter and I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna bring it all the way in, and you'll see why later. So it just pops more. You see? You see? You see? That's so weird. Okay, now I'm gonna tightline. I might need to sharpen my pencil. Man, tight lining can be some risky business. Oops. Like that, like talking while you're doing makeup. Next, for this, probably the second most important thing for hooded eyes is the eyeliner. So I'm sure you've seen this hooded eyeliner trick in other YouTube videos. I'm just going to show you how I do it and what I've found works best for my eyes. So yeah, let's just do it. And you'll see what I do to compensate for the fact that obviously there's more lid space over here than there is over here. So, and I always start with the bottom of the wing, and I try to always follow, you know, the naturalness of my eyes, like the flow. So, okay, let me try. And I try to envision, okay, while I'm drawing, I'm like, how would I want this to look? How would this look best, you know, for my eyes? I really hope this makes sense. I try to envision it before I do it, if that makes sense, and just follow what I see. Okay, so now I always do this one first because this eye is more hooded than this one. I want to make sure that I get this one to match this one because this one is this one. Okay. I can't really explain it while doing it, so I'm just gonna do it and you can watch. Okay, now when you saw that I stopped right about in the middle, and that's because if I were to go further, it would just take up even more lid space, and ain't nobody got time for that. So, and the way I brought it as far up right here, just because that's how I want the wing to look. I want my eye to go like that. So, and if you do want to line the inner corner, you want to be as thin as you possibly can. And that's if you do want to line the inner corner. I don't always do this, but sometimes tight lining is enough. But I always do that just as thin as I can physically get it to be. So you want to bring it in, you want to make it look natural. You want to make it look like this fold doesn't actually come all the way down to right here. No, it's actually all the way right here. So that's the illusion that you're creating. And then I just look down and try to make it look good / intentional. To do this side, I just do it like as if, you know, I didn't need to match it to over here first. And you can see, like, you know how you can see that there's still some lid space left? I think I made this line a little too thick, but I mean, because I did lose a lot of lid space, but it's not terrible. Like, you can still see the lid. You know what I'm saying? So let me do the other side. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the lid peeking through right there. I had to fix that because that's not on this side. So I just add more to this to make it look like this, if that makes sense. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. So there's that. Now for the bottom. Now, when people like say, oh, don't put a lot of darkness on the bottom or like whatever, I'm like, honestly, it just depends on what the rest of you looks like. Okay, so when I do my bottom lid, I just kind of like I just do whatever, but I like to bring the color all the way in, and I like to bring it pretty far down just because of this, like this right here, you know how like there's basically this line right here. I like to bring it all the way down and make it look like, to make this like protrude back, or protrude, wow, sink back or whatever. Also real quick, one thing I have been doing lately is I've been doing my eyeliner first and then I'll do my eyeshadow, and it's because I want to get this shape right first, and then I'll do my eyeshadow based on the shape. So just for example, I'll like show you right now like what I mean. And I'm basically gonna just shadow this area just a little more to make it blend with that eyeshadow, or I mean with the eyeliner better. And of course you can go as extreme with that as you want. It's up to you. So okay, I'm gonna do my bottom lid real quick and I will be back. I'm sure you've heard this before too, is the best kind of false lashes to wear for hooded, if you have hooded eyes, is the ones that flare out towards the end and sort of taper down to nothing the closer to the inner corner they get. Now I do agree and I do like that. If you're like me, then it's kind of a struggle because I love some thick lashes, like double C thick lashes. And I just love lashes. But for me, when I do my lashes, I cut them so that they only come to maybe like this far. And that's just because, well, first of all, I hate like messing around with it on the inner corner, and sometimes it'll come off. And I just hate dealing with that. So, and it's just more comfortable for me to end them right here. But another thing that does is that leaves all of the space still open, because a lot of the time what will happen is the further into the inner corner your lashes get, it's like the more they hide all of this lid space, if that makes sense. So I'll just go ahead and put on my lashes right now. Okay, so I put the false lashes on. Okay, so you can see that they came in, I brought them in all the way right here and no further, just because that's where it's most comfortable for me. Also, quick tip for those who just wear eyelashes or false lashes normally is I did not bring the end of this all the way down, because you know how like when you put on false lashes, you get them as close to your natural lash line as possible. I don't do that on the outer corner. I just kind of let it fall naturally, so I bring it up a little bit so there's some space between my natural lash line and the lash band on the outer corner. And I mean, even now you can't really like tell. But I do that because it just kind of lifts the eye, and also it's like really annoying when I can feel the outer corner like hit right here and like touch my lower lashes. I friggin' hate it. So that's why I do that. And then another quick tip, if like you struggle with like the lash glue, especially on the outer corner, like getting stuck to your lower lashes, and you can just feel them like when you blink and you open your eyes and you can feel them tugging on each other. I freaking hate that. So quick tip, real quick, take a pencil brush and then some black eyeshadow, and then you just kind of want to like dab on the outer corner. That will cover the glue and make it like not sticky anymore, because there's eyeshadow on the glue instead of your lashes on the glue now. So just a quick tip regarding that. Now this is kind of a weird thing, and it's kind of cool but also kind of sucks, depending on how you look at it. Another way you can make your eyes pop if you have hooded eyes is by wearing colored contacts. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some in for you real quick. I'm gonna put in some of my favorite colored contacts to wear, and I will be right back. So the lens that I am wearing is the Hydrocore Ochre one by Solotica, and so I mean, you'll see for yourself the difference, right? It's like, wow, the white balance just totally changed. It's changing. Wow, look at that. I mean, there is like such a difference. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, man, I wish I could wear contacts all the time. Like, I wish my eye color was naturally like this. It's just so cool. It's so cool. But I also like this too. So I guess it just depends on what mood you're in and whether or not you actually have colored contacts. So yeah, but yeah, that was just a little something that I learned by doing this over time. And I think there was one video that Wayne Goss did about this. He mentioned colored contacts as well. But yeah, for some reason it just kind of, but it also, I don't know, it's just more striking, I guess. And I think of course it does depend on like what color contact you wear as well. But yeah, so that's that. That's like all the tips, I guess, that I have for you. That's all I have to share with you. That's how I do my makeup with hooded eyes. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If it was, let me know down below. Also, I decided like 5 minutes ago that at the end of every video, or almost every video if I remember anyways, is I'm gonna do like a question of the day or question of the video or whatever, I don't know. The question that I have for you in this video is, what is your favorite Marilyn Manson song? And I only say that because I was listening to Marilyn Manson and I was like, which one's my favorite? And I was like, I don't know, there's so many good ones. But let me know down below if you have a favorite Marilyn Manson song, and if you don't, then why? Or if you don't even listen to Marilyn Manson, I would be more than happy to hear why. I mean, you don't have to be into Marilyn Manson. I'm just asking a question. Anyways, yeah, so let me know down below. Also, let me know if this was like helpful for you, if this worked for you, if it didn't work for you. Yeah, just let me know. Please talk to me. As always, you guys are great. Thank you so much for watching, those of you who made it this far. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.